Let's see. See, custom live streaming right up here. So it's good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Mindset Monday. I'm Shelley Butler.
I'm Yves Doucet.
Here we are.
Another Monday.
It's another Monday.
Do you guys have, we're going to talk about the Monday blues. Hmm. Somebody told me this weekend, it's good to celebrate the wins that we had last week, but then the Monday comes and it's all the same thing over again. Same
Mm.
problems, same thoughts, same same life. You ever get that Monday blues?
I do. I do. I've been a little blue lately, and yeah, Monday is no exception. I had a little Sunday blue and a little Saturday blue and a little Friday blue. Yeah, it happens. It happens. You have to understand that sometimes you can be in a pity party. Sometimes you can create your own self-suffering. That's what I believe I'm doing. I'm creating my own self-suffering. Same thoughts, same mindset. Like if I looked at my journal from yesterday, this morning, and I went back into 2016, the same date, I would probably look and I could see see the same stuff kind of thing.
It'd be similar. It
It
certainly feels the same way. It feels like you're in the same emotion.
feel, oh, it
You may
totally.
have different thoughts, like different people appeared to you last a couple of days,
My
and
God, for
and
sure,
you
for
say, "Oh
sure.
my God, again!" But it's different people or different situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I
Yeah.
had that. Yeah, I had this like this thing last week. I was um I was cutting tiles. So I'm putting tiles in my bathroom. I'm
Mm.
building a bathroom. And I was cutting tiles, and like tiles are, I don't know, it's an art form, I think. I know, like cutting tiles.
No, tiling is an art form for sure.
So here I am cutting tiles, and every time I cut a tile, and these are 2 by 2 tiles, 2 foot by two
Mm.
foot, so they're big tiles. So every time I cut it, like it just snaps the wrong way. Like it cuts, and like then I start swearing at the tile, right? And so I'm having this like
That's helpful.
huh?
That's helpful. Swearing at the tile, that's
Well, I
helpful.
thought it was.
In the moment.
It was like very helpful for me. So like every towel is $25. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's another $25.
Oh,
That's another 20 because you like when you can't like patch this all together. Like you can't, it's gonna look really bad. So and of course I only bought enough tiles to do the job,
of
right?
course, of
Right.
course. Do you ever go, I just want to smash them all and I'll do a mosaic
Every day.
every day. Okay.
So I'm looking at the towel, I'm really pissed. And so anyways, I sit down on my chair, I take my tea. And I just look at my emotions and say, well, what is the feeling that I'm looking for from this tile? Now, first of all, the tile has no feeling about me whatsoever, right?
None whatsoever. It does carry energy though.
Or does it? Yeah.
Yeah, it does carry energy though.
Right. So I can't cut a towel straight. And I sit there and I think, well, what is the feeling I'm looking for when I finish this bathroom?
Mm.
This feeling of being proud, this feeling of being, I don't know, just enough, the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of satisfaction of doing something by myself, kind of thing.
Mm.
So I sit there. I put on meditation music and I just sit. I watch the waves, the seals, and the birds, and I sit there until I can actually encompass this feeling. Okay. And I go back and I notice that the tiles were happier with me. Every single tile I cut after that was perfect. Now, it wasn't perfectly cut. I didn't say that, but it
Mhm.
fit perfectly. So it cracked, but where it cracked was exactly where I was going to hide it with the baseboard, for example.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah, yeah. So you started looking at it differently, right? You
So,
started seeing how it could work for you.
yes.
Interesting.
So yesterday I was having a conversation with someone and we were celebrating a small win. And he's saying, I say, well, this is a good, you had a good week, right? And he says, yeah, but Monday morning showing up and Monday morning will be the same problem.
Mm.
I can't wait until I don't have any more problems. Now, I've been on this earth
Mm.
for 67 years almost. On June 19th is my birthday. Don't forget it. I'm expecting gifts.
Because he loves gifts.
Yeah. And and I've always had problems.
Always,
Right? There's
always.
always something coming up. And what I realize more
Yeah.
and more is that I've been looking for problems. because
Yeah.
the emotion we like right the emotion that we're looking for, the Monday morning blues, if you want, we wake up, right? We wake up thinking about problems.
Well, we decide. I think we decide they're gonna happen anyway, right? Just like the person you were talking to, he's like, yeah, but Monday morning comes around, right? They're gonna happen anyway. So we always have that. The shoe's gonna drop, right? Something bad is going to happen.
Because that's the way because like you've been, if you think about that, where does the thought come from? Like we think we have free will. We're thinking we don't.
We don't.
The
I can
thought comes,
guarantee you, as I was eating those pretzels last night,
you don't.
I had I had no free will.
Because I asked you a question yesterday, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what was the surprise this
Mm-hmm.
weekend? And you couldn't think of the surprise.
Mm.
Now I asked a question to my yoga class yesterday, and they had the same like like blank face that you had. Like, what? What? Nothing happened that was surprised of.
Because
If
Eve, what
nothing
happens?
happened, think about this for a
We're
second.
thinking about surprise, though. Surprise,
No, no,
right?
surprise is like, oh, I didn't expect that.
So when you
So,
define surprise, it's something unexpected.
okay, stay there, right there. So I asked you that question this
You
morning.
did. Yep.
Where was the surprise? And you went, like, this is like I had 20 people, not 20,
Yeah.
10 people less in my class, and they all like, what do you mean by surprise? Something unexpected.
Yep.
If nothing unexpected happened this weekend, if that's true, then you've been living your past. You're having the same life over and over again, trying to solve the same problem the same way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And having the same feeling, whatever problem you're trying to solve,
Yep.
and it doesn't matter. And you're tired of it, and you say, there's another Monday morning coming with the same friggin' problem.
Yeah.
You are living the same life over and over again,
I am.
right?
I absolutely am.
And
Yep.
if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business person, I know you are,
I
right?
definitely am.
And you are living in the expected, well, how are you going to grow the business?
Yeah.
How are you going to lose the weight? How are you
Absolutely.
going to win the lottery? How are you going to change your life if you are expecting the same thing?
Yeah. Yep.
And you had to like I saw your face. You had to really, like you looked at me like I was a like some sort of like Martian or something. What? Like what you like? And I got it right. One of the girls at this
You know
yoga,
what?
they
Okay.
said,
Sorry. Go
and she
ahead.
says the surprise was you asking me about the surprise. I said, okay, well that
Yeah,
was
that was,
unexpected,
yes.
right?
Well, it's so funny when you say I kind of look up, I feel the same way when we do mood checks here at Dovico, right? People are like, I have no idea. Our self-awareness is really lacking. We live in the future, we live in the past. We tend not to really live in the moment. So when you ask me about what happened, now, interesting enough, now I could answer you.
Okay, where is it?
So
Without telling me
do you
specifics.
know where do you know where the surprise are
Well,
you, 'cause I know, yeah, we talk.
there's
Yeah, we
some intimate things you
we
may not
do,
want
but I
to.
wouldn't say that.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you what the surprise was.
what's the surprise?
My pump, so I'm down to shore, so I have a
Oh,
pump, right? So my pump, yeah, not
what?
that pump. So my pump started short cycling.
What does that mean?
Short cycling when your pump short cycles. So it instead of coming on for it'll come on and off, right? So when you're running your water, flushing your toilet,
Yeah.
it'll just come on and off
Yes.
quickly,
Yes.
kind of thing. Short cycling. I was like, oh, Len, the pipe short. So I've been there now for 18 years. Len, the pipe's short cycling. Now I know that I just need to go buy a new pressure valve,
Okay.
and I can replace that.
Right.
Boom,
Okay.
right? That was the surprise.
What was the surprise?
At one time, I would panic. Do you hear the pump? Do you hear the pump? Like I would listen for the pump. I put my ear to the ground because I didn't know how to run a pump. I didn't know what a pump was. And I'm that type of person. I'm not going to hire somebody to fix my pump.
Okay.
I need to
Good.
know how to run the
So
pump.
this is
So
good.
what happened was it short cycled.
Mm,
I would panic. Oh my God, we got to get a new pump.
mm.
It's like, when I go in Monday, don't even worry about it. When I go in Monday, I'll buy a pressure pump, pressure valve. I'll just replace that.
Okay, that's a good surprise.
Yeah, that was,
How does that feel?
wow, so calming
What was unexpected from that?
that I didn't worry.
There you go.
See, I would worry consistently. Don't run the water. Don't do the laundry. Don't do the short cycling. Your pump is not a bad thing, right? But it will eventually run your pump out. So yeah, I did. I lived my life. I did all the things. I didn't tell my husband he couldn't cook, he couldn't wash dishes, he couldn't, I didn't worry about it. I didn't have to get down and look at the pump.
So that's living in the present moment compared to living in
Totally.
the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that
I would have caused
unexpected. Oh,
self-suffering.
I had an ex unexpected emotional reaction.
Absolutely.
Instead of like worrying about it, instead of no, no, I have this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I
I would
got
have
it.
caused self-suffering. We wouldn't have
Mhm.
been able to use the washroom. I would have told him that he couldn't use any water. I would have, yeah, there would have been a lot of, uh-oh, uh-oh,
Now, right now, as you remember that surprise, that unexpected feeling,
so accomplished right in this moment.
there you
The
go.
fact that, look, it's even making me sweat. The fact that, the
So
fact
you
that,
don't have to go to the gym.
whew, already been there. I'm still sweating from the gym. So the fact that I knew exactly what to do, like it's taken me years and years to be able to like figure out the pump thing.
Yeah, you felt all of that. Say, oh, I felt accomplished. I felt a leader. I felt trust. You can trust me. I felt all of that.
Where to go to get
Got it?
the pressure valve?
Okay, so the thing that I want you to recognize
Hmm.
is it took you half an hour to get there.
Yeah, right?
So, but because you didn't wake up this morning feeling this way,
No.
right? You woke up this morning feeling, what another friggin' weekend like that. Like unexpected things happened. But now you feel that you had surprises. Can you think of
Yeah.
another surprise?
Uh,
Saying the surprise. What else was a surprise? And I'm not talking about like, my husband bought me a BMW surprise. I'm talking about the
oh
feeling
yeah,
you
they
have
never
about
bought me a
yourself.
BMW. Do you know another surprise for me is, and I mean I love to cook and to bake and to all this kind of stuff, so you've heard before, but the reason why this is, so it's Sunday night, it's getting late. My husband says, "What are you making me for lunch tomorrow?" I pride myself on making amazing lunches. I actually don't have any bread.
Okay.
What do? Make two loaves of bread.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
I can just, yeah,
What's
zip.
that feeling?
Oh,
Describe the feeling.
well, not only is it accomplishment, but I feel like I have
Little dance.
power. Yeah, I have power over.
Do that dance again. Like that.
Yeah,
Feels like that.
it feels like that. Yeah. Getting up this morning, I was working out. It was a workout, like heavy weights,
Mhm.
supersets, right? And I was just feeling like, oh, I could have lifted more. I should have lifted, right? So I talking myself out of the happiness that I just
Right.
did, and I looked out at my garden.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
what was that feeling?
Again, like serious accomplishment. You know what I mean? I grow my own food. I make my own pasta sauce. Yeah, it's a feeling of not only accomplishment, but it's a feeling of control. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah, I like that. So again, short cycling, I don't have to call anybody.
Mhm.
I know exactly what it is,
So
right?
it's amazing
The
that when you
control over
start
my own
thinking about
food.
when you start thinking about one surprise, you get another one, you get
Yeah.
another one, you
All
get
of a
another.
sudden it's easy to recognize them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what you did or what we did together here is we grounded on the feeling, and all of a sudden you start. This is so common when I coach people. It's so common when I teach. It's so
Yeah.
common. People can't remember a good time. They can't remember love. They can't remember intimacy. Did you have intimacy, like not intimacy physical, but with people this weekend? Did you have a good conversation with people?
Fantastic. Yeah,
Right? Like people
fantastic
share things.
conversation.
Then how did that make you
Yeah.
feel?
Always good.
Yeah.
Always good. When
People
people,
trust you, that kind of
got to
thing.
go see Jan Arden.
Okay.
Didn't get to talk to her, but I did get to go see Jan Arden. I feel like I know Jan Arden personally because I watch all of her podcasts, or I listen
Okay.
to all of her podcasts. Do you know who Jan Arden is?
No.
Canadian artist, amazing singer. Uh, she was always on with Rick Mercer.
Okay, I know him.
Yeah, Canadian, like she's from Calgary. She's a hoot. She's absolutely hilarious. So she played at the casino yesterday. She actually was the very first live person I got to go see after COVID at the Avenir Center as well. So Pat and I, my girlfriend Pat and I went, and it was beautiful.
What was unexpected from that experience? I'm using the word surprise differently now.
Yeah, yeah.
What
So
did you expect? Was it more than you expected? Different than you expect?
no, I've seen her a couple of times, so I knew what to expect. I think that
But you loved it.
I
So
think
this,
that what I saw was I saw a lot of Canadian pride there. I
okay.
saw a lot of elbows up. I saw a lot of camaraderie
So
there, and that was beautiful.
let me ask you this question then.
Hmm.
So you went to a note like you loved her. It was really good concert
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
else. What was what's the feeling between going there
Hmm.
and the feeling of solving the issue with the pump or the bread? That little dance that you did there with the
Yeah.
bread. What is the difference between those two feelings? Did you have to go to the concert to make the bread?
No.
Is it the same feeling?
Yeah.
Is it the same feeling?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I do.
We go do things. We do things. We everything that we do in life is to get a feeling, right?
Yep.
So we go to these concerts. And I'm not saying don't go to a concert. I'm not saying that. Is I'm saying you don't have to go to the concert to feel good about yourself.
Oh gosh, no,
You
no,
have
yeah,
to go to the gym to
no,
feel good about yourself,
no, you
right?
don't. You don't. You should be able
True.
to have enough of that in you,
Yeah.
right? That you should be able to wake up every morning and feel good about yourself. You should be able to turn your thoughts around with some really great advice that you've given yourself from you know the, the the past, if
It's
you will.
it, yeah.
Sort of. I think it's super important that people have ability to change their thinking. Yes, I woke up and probably on the wrong side of the bed this morning. I woke up at 4:12. My workout was at 6:15, scheduled with I work out with Real World Wellness, so it's a scheduled workout. Because I couldn't get back to sleep, I probably would have worked out on my own. But because I booked that class, right?
Mhm.
I told myself that I'm going to honor that, right? I booked it. I'm going to be there. But I'm going to tell you from 4:12 to 6:15, I had to journal. I had to sit in meditation. I had to quiet my mind
Mhm.
because I could have convinced myself not to do that class. So the things that I've practiced in the past, right? The meditation, the quieting of my mind, the like a lot of people will think it's funny to have a mantra in the morning, a prayer. Some people will call it a prayer. I know my girlfriend Dion works with us. She calls it a prayer.
Mhm.
For me, it's a mantra.
Mhm.
I need to be able to change my evil ways. And that's what I call it. It's my evil ways because I will get into my self suffering. Oh, I can't. I made up 100 excuses of why I couldn't be at Mindset Monday this morning at 4:12 this morning. So I had to actually go into my arsenal of tools that I have built to stop the self suffering, to stop the pity party. I did 2 hours.
So
What were you doing at 4:12?
this morning I was sleeping like most Canadians. I'm like, not a nut
Most
job.
Canadians.
Just joking. So let's go back to fixing the pump and making the bread.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And the difference between fixing the pump, making the bread, and going to the concert, right? So you had a dopamine hit going to the concert. You had a dopamine hit from the fixing the pump, that aha moment. You had a dopamine hit from making bread. Got it?
Yep.
Which of those three scenarios can you imagine possibilities from?
Well, all three.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, absolutely. All three. Um, I always said when you're feeling motivated, inspired, a feeling of accomplishment, you can almost do anything.
Hmm.
Nothing, you can hold that chair pose longer. You
Yeah.
can walk longer. You can write longer. You can be in meditation longer, right? So when you're in that mindset of, Jesus, I can, nothing, nothing's going wrong. Everything is just absolutely going right. And you're not waiting for that shoe to drop, right?
Hmm.
So you don't have that thing in the back of your head, which is really hard to get rid of, that voice that says, Yeah, it went good this week, but Monday's coming, you know.
Monday's coming.
Monday's coming, you know. That is the enemy kind of thing. So when you have the ability to override the narratives,
Mhm.
it's endless. The possibilities are
So
absolutely
you
endless.
felt so like to solve that problem with the pump, you felt like invincible kind of thing, like limitless. I'm going to say
Oh,
it
for
that.
sure, for
You
sure.
could do anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And how about the bread? How did you feel? Like what was possible from there?
Well, it's interesting because I said for years I couldn't make bread. For years
And
I
now you
couldn't make
can.
bread, right? So I figured out a way to make bread. I I don't knead well, so my bread always turned out like a rock. It kill you. So I found a machine that actually kneads it for me. You know what I mean? It's like a handheld machine that it kneads it for me. So I all of a sudden the possibilities of making beautiful bread and quality bread, right? Because my husband always he's always had this gut thing, gut health issue, and I mean we all could use a change in pace when it comes to good food and great
Mm-hmm.
gut health,
Yeah.
right? Um, so yeah, I feel really like accomplished and I feel satisfied, but there's nothing now that I will say I can't bake, I can't do.
Okay, so you had a feeling of like both those situations, you had a feeling like there's nothing I can't do.
Nothing I can't
So
do.
from the dopamine hit that you got from aha moment, oh, I
Hmm.
can solve this. You had possibilities for your life.
For sure,
You
for
could
sure.
become a baker, you could become a plumber, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not
You know.
doing any of those.
And what did you get from going to the? So you got a dopamine hit from going to the show. What did you get from that?
I think what was interesting about that is this is the very first show that I did not drink at. So any concert or any outing,
Well, that's a surprise.
I like to have a drink or three, right? Because when you go and you listen to music, what do?
Okay.
You drink. Yeah.
So you didn't drink.
I didn't drink. I
Did
was
you?
driving.
Oh, so you're driving.
I
So
was
where
driving.
was
So
your
I,
sister
I,
with?
I didn't drink.
No,
I
with
went with,
friend.
yeah, I went with Pat.
And what was Pat drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel any.
No.
Okay.
No, which
And
was weird because, if she's drinking, I'm drinking, I just yeah, to fit in. I'm not sure if it was to fit in. I enjoy having a drink.
so let's look at the feeling of waking up without having a drink. How did you feel in the morning, Sunday morning, when you woke up not having taken a drink?
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, no different. Like I didn't judge myself for not taking a drink or taking a drink. It was
Mm.
easy. It was
Okay.
easy. Like I didn't have to like, oh, I can't drink 'cause I'm driving. Like I didn't because my husband would have driven me, right, and
Right.
picked me up if I wanted to drink. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the entire concert and I enjoyed it sober. It was good.
So I want the audience there. I think we have a few people. Bob's there, Dion,
Bob,
Trent, Cheryl. Yeah.
my
So
sister Cheryl.
maybe you could put inside the comments there. We don't have a conversation going, but
Mm.
where were you on, where did you get unexpected feelings this weekend? So Shelley got three, she shared three with us. And so, and where I'm getting at is like we remember the things that went wrong because we store emotions in our body, right? And we practice those. So we wake up in the morning, Monday morning, and say, oh, there's going to be on the same problem a different day, right? And the way to solve the problem is not to actually have the same thought, it's to have a different thought.
Mm.
And the way to have a different thought is to have a different and to remember a different emotion. So if you remember the surprises, the unexpected this weekend, you will wake up Monday morning with the possibility of surprises from Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are surprised with the output of what you do, you have the possibility to solve your problem.
Mm. Yeah, so
It's
true.
that simple,
It is that simple, isn't it?
right? So remember the surprises. So, and it's a practice, right?
Yep.
It's a practice.
It is a practice.
There is not a day that I don't have something unexpected come up.
And I'm just going to start putting some pressure on myself a little bit to notice that, right? So I'm always talking about self-awareness, making sure that you are in the moment. Um but I don't, you know I don't talk about surprise, I don't talk about the
But the
surprises.
unexpected,
It's
if
the
you well,
unexpected.
think
Yeah.
about like when there's nothing new that happens in your life, you feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over again because you are living the same life. And what happens, they call this midlife crisis, and it happens a few times in our lifetime. It's
Yeah.
when you say, I've been doing this for such a long time, I know exactly what happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Right. So
true.
there's a beautiful book called The Beautiful Constraint. You remember that book?
Yes, I do
So
remember that.
I use constraint in order to to become unexpected.
Hmm.
So example of that is I used to teach at a studio. Now I don't, and I decided to teach again. Right?
Yeah.
No studio, no lights, no heat, no music, nothing, no name, just me.
Yeah. And it's not a yoga studio.
No, no, it's just
It's just a
a
room
room.
someplace.
Yeah, cold room. Yeah, I have to clean up before the room. There's nobody helping me. I'm just doing it.
Right.
And then I'm surprised with the unexpected, the people that show up, the comments I'm getting on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like if you saw what are the comments
I
there,
did. I did.
right?
Yeah.
That was unexpected
Huh.
using constraint. Now, did I want to do that? No, I wanted to buy the speaker. I want to get the lights in. I want to have the perfect studio. I want to have the heat, all that stuff. And these were all expected to have an expected result. What happens if I don't?
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't have bread? Make bread. Whatever,
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
Like life,
Absolutely.
like teach the
Absolutely.
lemon, make
Yeah.
lemonade, that kind of thing. The unexpected is there. And in like we're talking about leadership and business and living your life. If you're tired, if you're not waking up excited in the morning, it's because you're expecting the same thing.
Yeah.
And who wants to wake up any day? Monday is even, it's an important day. Monday is an important day.
It's an important day. Monday's going to set up your week. And absolutely, I agree with Eve 100%. I don't care. It doesn't matter whether you're a leader in your business or a leader in your life, or you're being a human just doing the things you need to do. If you are in a funk, nothing's going to change. It will always look the same. So you're the only one that can get yourself out of the funk. So you have to change things up. You have to make sure that it is unexpected.
I think like so we're talking about living your life, like living unexpected, using constraints in your life that you have to create a spot that you can be surprised, be live in the unexpected world. And if you do that every single day, well, are you going to live the same day over and over again? No, it's going to be a different day every day. Every day will be different. Every day will be a surprise. Every day you'll be in the moment, right? So we have a couple of comments in there. You want to read
We
them?
do.
They're funny.
So I was surprised when I accidentally bit my tongue yesterday and had an unexpected feeling of pain. Do you not hate when you bite your tongue
No,
or bump your head?
but that wasn't a surprise.
That's
You've done that in the past.
Yeah, that's definitely not a surprise. The surprise might be though that I didn't punch the wall, that I didn't react to biting my tongue. The surprise of seeing a bunch of onions on a pole yesterday downtown. Did you pick these onions? Interesting enough, I was
Onions.
really surprised walking the beach. We've had super low tides. There was a giant rock out in front of where I kind of go down the beach, and it was full of oysters. I mean,
Oh.
absolutely packed with oysters. Now, Casey Cape always had tons of seafood. In the 80s, there was like a little something, something that happened, and there was no seafood. So, seafood's all coming back. But the amount of seafood that we're seeing
Oh.
now is just amazing. I almost picked them. Um,
It's illegal.
what to
Do
pick?
carefully.
No, it's
Yeah, you
not.
need a license to pick oysters. Yeah,
Oh,
in New Brunswick.
okay. Are you sure?
That's 100%.
Do
You
you
need
need
a
do you need a license to pick periwinkles?
no, but clams, oysters, any
Razor clams?
razor clams, yeah, mussels. Yeah, you need a
Okay.
license. Yeah.
Okay.
Mussels, I'm not sure, but clams for sure. Oysters, paludes, quahogs. Yeah.
Yeah, quahogs. So Felicia, I was surprised that I let my emotions take the wheel. I can't wait to find out what
See,
that means.
so
Let my emotions
take the
take the
wheel.
wheel. I never let my emotions take the wheel. So interesting. Yes, I need to know more, Felicia.
Mm. So look for the surprise. And like I can tell by the comments that you're having a hard time looking for the unexpected. Like looking for where I was surprised that life gave me
Yeah.
something, a feeling that I got that's like, oh, I like that feeling. Like
Mhm.
feeling of, the feeling of non-reaction,
Yeah.
the feeling of non-attachment. What does the feeling of non-attachment feel like for you when you let go of something? What's that feeling?
Well, I don't, there's no concern. There's no worry. There's no,
Is that the feeling you had with making bread?
totally.
Is that the feeling you had with the pump?
Well, and that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
That's the feeling with the
Yeah.
pump.
Remember that feeling and
Yeah.
bring that in today.
Okay.
That's the feeling of not attached freedom. Feels like I could do anything.
Yeah.
Abundance. I don't
Yeah.
need anything. I have it all. Like that thing, right? Like it's just a little part, nothing. I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to fix this, right? It's that feeling of power, freedom, abundance.
Yeah.
That's the feeling of not attachment.
It totally is. Like it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Like if the one thing that we know, Eve, I'm 57, Eve's going to be 67. If the one thing we know is all our lives, no matter what it was, and there was some big bad things in our lives, both of our lives,
Mm,
it always worked out.
yeah.
It always
Non attachment.
it always worked out.
This feeling of non-attachment I had the first time when I was staring down at the judge, the
Yeah.
last judge,
Yeah.
Justice Dion,
Yeah.
who was passed now. Lots of respect for him, although he never found in my favor. But still lots of respect for him.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they have a hard
Rest
job.
in peace.
They have a hard job.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And but I had this feeling of non-attachment
Mm.
that everything is okay. It's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but
Yeah.
this is like really trusting and surrendering in the unexpected. There's a good book called The Surrender Experiment. I would recommend that you guys read. It's a good book. And it's surrendering to the unexpected.
Hmm.
And it doesn't mean you don't do things. It means you do something, but you don't expect the thing that you want.
Yeah.
You surrender to it. You
Yeah.
surrender to life because as long like when we start controlling things, like this is when we get caught into the suffering. Oh, I didn't have the expected result that I'm looking for. I worked out, but I didn't have the result. Why? Because you were expecting it.
Mm. You know,
The
the probably the
unexpected.
best book to read when you're talking about the unexpected and the surprises
I can't wait
is
to see what you're gonna say.
Nando
I'm
Pareto.
gonna, yeah, it's
Right? The
such a
Miracles on
great
the
book.
Andes,
Yes,
right? If
yes, yes.
anybody, if anybody
Mm,
looked at the unexpected, gave up what he had no control over,
let it
made
go.
sure that he was going to live the last of his life trying to be rescued and rescue the rest of them that were still living on that mountain. Um, he had a story to tell. And I remember, I'll never forget when I got to see him. He walked on stage and I felt like he looked directly at me. I always say that, but he said to me, Shelley, you are never, after I finish speaking here today, you will never look at another
Mm,
problem the same.
mm,
And that is absolutely true.
mm,
I have never, ever looked at another problem the same. There's some big problems when you're actually eating your fellow man to stay alive,
mm.
right? That's
It's
the,
a film if you don't want to read the book.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is yeah, it is a
it's
film.
wait,
It's me.
yeah.
Oh,
I expected.
I got to take this.
Oh no, well we're done on here.
Okay.
You can go.
Darn. Okay, no worries. Darn. All right. Sorry about that. I had a call, which is unexpected.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm Shelley Butler,
I'm Yves Doucet
and this has been Mindset Monday. Do not let the day go without finding something that surprised you,
today.
that you found,
Mm,
yeah, today, that you found was, unexpected, right? And go on to this podcast and let's talk about it. I'd
put your
love to
comment
have
in.
some back. Yeah, put a
Yeah.
comment in. I'd love to have some back and forth. And maybe next Monday we'll emphasize it. We'll go a little deeper into it. Do not allow the day to go by without being so present that everything that comes new in your life today or anything that's unexpected that you don't miss it. Just don't miss it. I love you. Get your workout in and have